Hello, hello. Are you in for a special treat today? This is Sir David the Bard. I'm here in the waiting area of the Salt Lake Temple. God, Monson, he calls on this phone, Let me, Monson, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back. Hello?
No, I'm looking for the visa for the gift card. We have a certain amount, like 55 or 50. So I cannot put 35.
All right, just do the best you can, hon. That's all you got to do. I'm on my show right now. Tell Monson not to send those missionaries over anymore.
Well, is the American Express work?
American Express card?
Yes.
No, not as much. No, get a Visa or a MasterCard. American Express will not work. I gotta go, honey.
Okay, all right.
Bye. It's Monson's secretary from the Philippines. Now I'm sitting here. Oh, shit. Sitting here, and I'm waiting to go in for a temple session. It's called an endowment session, whatever that means. Okay, now I sleep with my car keys now because I love my car. It's got remote start. It's got turbocharged. It's got 8 wheels that come down. It's got wings that go. God, I love that car. Anyway, I've had a lot of comments from over 2 or 3 years from the Mormons. They're not kind people, most of them. Wait a minute, that's overstated. Most of them are kind people. The bad apples really give the barrel a real smell in the Mormon church. Now, I'm going to do something here today. It's just for me. It's just for me. If you don't like it, turn it off. Turn it off. They call me fat. They call me ugly. They call me bald. Now, here's how you know if you've won an argument with a Mormon, which is about the most difficult thing that you will ever do in your life. Winning an argument with a Mormon means that they will never speak the subject. They will tell you that you're fat, you're ugly, your eyebrows are falling out, your nose is too big, you have no teeth, you're impotent. They will take on a personal, physical attack. They'll never say, well, we don't know where tithing goes, but we think it goes to good places, but we really don't know. See, they won't address the issue. They'll only make fun of you and your family and call you names. You're an apostate. You are a devil. You are, I can't even think of the names. Go back and look at my comments. Someone's turning the lights out here. Hell, I'm in outer darkness, just like they said. The Mormon church is true. Ah! Save me, help me! Save my ass. Anyway, being an old veil worker at the Mormon temple, I know the veil ceremony pretty well. I'm getting older now, so I'll miss a few words here and there. But if you're a Mormon and you're watching me, and you think I look funny, one of the guys said, he sits in that chair like a Buddha or a fat man. He never goes anywhere. He never does anything. Well, it's partially true. So what? What does that have to do with tithing? What's that have to do with polygamous marriages? Nothing. So they got nothing to say because I put links down below and whatever. So I'm going to do a live temple ceremony here. I'm going to do a veil. That's where I work, at the veil of the temple. And I was God, and my job was to bring the people from the congregation on the other side of the curtain. Now, if you think I look funny, I'm going to show you what Mormons look like in a temple. And you decide what's funny. What's funny? I am vindictive today. It's the only day in my life I've ever been vindictive. But, they'll call or they'll write and say, I wish your family would die of leukemia. If your mother was alive, I'd cut her head off and pee in it. I mean, the Mormons they're very creative at trying to scare you. Okay, so I'm going to admit that maybe I look funny. I'm pushing 70. I got some weight on, and I'm getting old. I have a little bit of dementia. I forget shit. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, I'm going to dress up here now like a Mormon. And then I'm going to tell you the temple, what they look like in the temple. Okay? First of all, you have to have a green apron over your nuts, or your pussy, whichever. Okay, you have to have long robes hanging on you. The robes of the priesthood have to hang over your right shoulder, then they change over to your left shoulder. Who knows where they go eventually. God, I look like I'm the flying nun. My fan. Anyway, now you have a sash and an ass. And you tie your ass and your sash to your ass, okay? Now, the women have a headdress, okay? It's a little bit like a burqa, it's a little bit like a nun, it's a little bit like something you've never, and it has a veil on it. So when you do the pay, the lay, and the ale, Monson, I swear, he doesn't want me to do this. Hello? Yes. That sounds great. We'll see you then. Thank you. Bye. He wants to home teach me. He can't even get up the staircase. That's why I tell him, yes, he can home teach me again. Anyway. Now I want you to vision this, okay? You have a green apron on, robes over one side of your costume, funny underwear, garments underneath everything, and the green apron, and the women have the headdress, and the men have baker's hats, like they've all worked in a donut shop. I look funny sitting in this chair. Maybe I do. I don't know, but I'm going to tell you what they look like, okay? Because I think it's funny. So the men have baker's hats, and it has a little tail on it, and it has to tie to the robes. So I don't know why. So they connect together. I don't know why. And so the women have these veils and headdresses, a little bit like an Indian. I don't know. And when you do the Pele Ale, the true order of prayer, the women have to cover their faces. Now you've got a does this look silly? You have a woman standing there, and she has on a headdress, and she has all these robes on, and her garments, and this dress is white, it goes all the way to the ground, and a green apron. And you look over at her, she looks like every other woman in the world. There's nothing special about women in the Mormon church. Okay, so if you want to see silly, okay, go get an endowment. Go to an endowment session of the Mormon church. Now you can't go unless you pay 10% of your gross income for the rest of your life. You get one endowment session, okay? That's pretty expensive, and you have to go to their church for a year, and don't miss any meetings. And the other thing in the temple is every time they tell you to do something stupid, he'll say, bow your head and say yes. Like, there's no discussion on this. None. Yes. It's silly. It's silly shit. Monson doesn't give up. Jesus. It's his partner, his home teaching partner. Hello. Who is this? Oh, listen, I'm doing a show right now. That's okay. Give me a call back in about 30 minutes. You're welcome. Bye-bye. It's not the bard. Anyway. You sit there on one side of the room, the men, and the women on the other side of the room. So the men are all going, they never look up front. They never look up front. And they're looking for those young girls. You know, the old ladies, they can put helping and enablement. No one gives a shit. But when she's young and cute, get that veil on. Let me get a peek under there. So that's silly. It's silly ritual cult shit. Now, you have to stand up and sit down. And so the officiator, they call him, which is the bozo at the front of the room, he doesn't have to wear robes. He's dressed cool. White shirt, white pants, white socks, white shoes, and white hair. And he tells you what you're going to do, because he's God. Now, I'm God on the other side of the veil. There's a lot of gods in the Mormon ritual endowment ceremony. So he'll say, we are instructed, and they have these vibrating speakers. We are instructed, like this. I don't know, does Jesus' voice vibrate? It could. I've never heard, and no one else has ever heard Jesus' voice vibrate. But they have these vibrating systems. So we are instructed to give you the first token of the Aaronic priesthood. All arise. Now, if you've gone to sleep, like most old people, they bring a sleeping bag and a teddy bear, in their little case. Your buddy will wake you up beside you, and so you stand up. Say, okay. And they come from the front of the room, and there's a few of them that play God, including this God. So they come to you with the first token, and they give it to you. They actually touch your hand. Okay, so the first token of the Aaronic priesthood, the patriarchal grip, or sure sign of the nail, is their thumb on your knuckle. I don't know. Is that where a knuckle sandwich came? I don't know. And then everyone is standing there, and all the women, the female gods, they go give the token to the females. And so they all go back to the front of the room, and they say, if there's anyone who has not received the first token of the Aaronic priesthood, please stand. Well, hell, you're not going to stand in a group of, 4 people. So anyway, now, said, you will have to use these signs, tokens, and symbols at the veil. Well, if you've never been there before, you don't know where the veil is or what it is. Okay, so now we are instructed to give you the second token of the Aaronic priesthood. So they come out, and everybody, please stand, and everybody stands again. And this time they put their thumb in between your first and second knuckle, and it goes around the room. It's kind of like, it's like a child's game. No one can pass the candy to anyone else. Only the gods can give you those things. And they'll say, the name of this sign is your own given name. I think it's your own given name on the first token. And then on the second, it is the new name of the person that you are officiating for going through the temple. So that could be Jack Smack, the Big Mac. So that's the name of the token, Jack Smack, the Big Mac. So anyway, and they changed the priesthood robes. Now it's time to change your priesthood robes, and most of us that are old go, isn't it time to go pee somewhere? So anyway, now you got to stand up. You got to take your shoes off, and you've got to change the robe. The baker's hat has to go for the spin so that the little tie is on the other side. And then you take your shoes and your socks off. And some of the old people, they just go down naked. They don't know when to stop. So anyway, now you have to put all that crap back on, and everybody's waiting. And of course, you're the last person, right? And you've got 3 old guys or 2 old biddies trying to help another little biddy get their clothes back on. So now you are prepared to receive the first token of the Melchizedek priesthood. Melchizedek priesthood. This is given by putting your hand up like this, and I do this, stop, but they pull my hand down, and then they take the pincher, they bring the pincher over to you, and they pinch both sides of your thing. Now, if this isn't silly, I look silly. Yeah, I'm fat, my eyebrows have fallen off, I've saved a few of them, but now, you've been in there for like an hour and a half, and they're pinching one side of your hand there. This is the first token of the Melchizedek priesthood. And the name of this token is the Son, like the Son of God. Hey, I can remember. It's Hanky Spanky Panky is the second, my own name, and now the Son of God. Now we are instructed to give you a little bit of information. Number 1, if you screw anybody that you're not married to, you're screwed. You're fucked. I'm paraphrasing here a little bit. It's called the law of chastity. That you will not engage in any sexual activity with anyone except your legally and lawfully mated husband or wife. Now here's where you have the problem with the gays, see, in the Mormon temple, and why they're fighting it so bad. I got an article on here, my last video, just before this one, where they excommunicated Maybe I didn't do that video. I'll do it after this one. They excommunicated a married couple that were both male. And they were both good members of the church. So anyway, no screwing, no touching boobs. It's the only two things I know, so I can't go into detail. I'm lying, but I'm not going to go into detail. Anyway, now they say, we also want you to put you under the law of consecration. Here's a law that I don't want to be under, but George Romney is under it. If he was president of the United States, he has taken these oaths and covenants from the Mormon Church. And that is, you now consecrate everything that you have or will have in the future to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They don't even say Zion or God. They just say the corporation. The corporation. So all the money you have, all the cars, all the houses, and if you become rich and president, that also is consecrated to the Lord if you're a Mormon president. And then they hold up the Book of Mormon, and they will, well, it's a triple combination. Now it's a Pearl of Great Price, triple combination, and say as given in this book, and they put it back on the altar. They have a nice little altar there. You know, you can sacrifice, I don't know, little people. Midgets don't go to the temple. That altar scares them. It's short, and you know, you could cut a midget on there. So anyway. So now you've got the first token, the second, and you've got the first token of the Melchizedek priesthood. So now they say to you, in the old days, before 1990, they would say with each one of these tokens of pushing your thumbs and putting your finger up your ass, whatever, that if you reveal this, let me put it right. You will never, you consecrate and promise before God, angels, and these witnesses now at the altar. And I see the witnesses, but I don't see God and angels, but I guess you just assume they're there. That you will never reveal the first sign of the Aaronic priesthood. Rather than do so, you take your thumb, put it underneath the neck. Rather than do so, I would suffer my life to be taken. Put your hand down at the side. Cut your throat. In other words, the Danites are going to cut your throat if you tell anybody, and that's why I'm hiding here. They could come into the house at any minute. The second token of the Melchizedek priesthood, you will never reveal. Rather than do so, I would suffer, you cut your heart and your chest open, my life to be taken. Now the third one was your stomach, and that's a big that's a big token there for me. Rather than to reveal the first token of the Melchizedek priesthood, I would suffer my life to be taken. Those are the death penalties of the Mormon Temple all the way up to the 1990s, and they've been discontinued at this particular point. Blood atonement, it was called. So, anyway, now you're in for the finale. You got your goddamn baker's hat on. You've got your green little cover my balls apron. You look like, I don't know what you look like. What does a man look like with a baker's hat and a green apron on? There's only one answer. He looks like a Mormon in the endowment session. Now, I look silly, but this is really silly shit, okay? So he's got robes hanging on him and dangling on him. He's got strings tied to his robes and whatever. And they say, now, we are going to give you the second token of the Melchizedek priesthood, the patriarchal grip, or sure sign of the nail. And so now they come around and they intertwine the little finger. You can see this on the internet anywhere. And, you put your hand on their wrist where, Jesus was hanging on the cross, supposedly, and his hands ripped, so they put a nail through his wrist. So anyway, and they'll say, we are not allowed to give you the name of this token. However, you'll be under the same consequences and penalties if you reveal this, and you will receive this at the veil. And well, I'm looking around, where the hell is the veil? I didn't see the angels, and I didn't see God, angels. I did see witnesses at the altar. They were regular people out of the audience. They weren't celestial people. They were just regular people. So, now, we get up to the instructions, and it's kind of like a teacher. He has this pointer, and now he's saying, I'm going to tell you about your garments. This sign here over the right nipple will open if your husband and you are married. If you're not, sew that sucker shut. This one over here is the square, meaning the square of being honest and true. This one here is the navel mark, meaning health in the navel, something like that. And then the one at your knee means that every knee will bow and every tongue confess that Jesus is the Christ. This is the garment. Now, since all of you have to come through the veil, we will show you how that's done. I look silly. No, you look silly. Okay, here we go. Okay, now I'm on one side of the veil, and the people are on the other side of the veil. So there's a sheet between us. And this is how you feel. This is exactly how you feel. You can't fight. You got hats hanging on. Okay, so here I am on one side of the veil. God. There's a wind in here, and they're on the other side. Now there's holes in the veil. This is called, it used to be the 5 points of fellowship. That was the 6 points of fellowship when you pulled up against the girls, so they discontinued that too. The church, it never changes. So I have to peek. You can peek through the curtain. Oh God. Okay. Yeah, you can see me. Okay. So there's one hole up here, so I put my hand through onto their back. And then there's one hole here where I can put one hand through here. Now, there is a matron or somebody, and they do this. They have a magic. It's a... I can't take it. I look funny. You guys look funny. They have a mallet. Okay, and so they bring the person up that is going through the veil, and the male or the female, can I turn that camera? It'll probably just fall off. Oh, I'm turning it the wrong way. There. So you bring up the male patrons on one side of the veil, and the female on the other side of the veil. I wear both sides, because I was pretty straight. I had no weenie, and the girls didn't care, so anyway... I got my arm around this person, and the 5 points of fellowship was back to arm, or arm to back, ear to ear, breast to breast, knee to knee, and inside foot to inside foot. The girls thought that that was kind of like being fucked standing up. So anyway, they just continue. So the person on the veil side will go, and then I peek out of the... I'm gonna die here. I did this and really believed this shit. So I peek outside the curtain and I say, what is wanted? Like, I don't know. I am the omnipotent God. Yes, what is wanted? And then the person on the other side goes, Eve, being true and faithful, desires to speak with the Lord at the veil. I take a little peek at Eve and shit, she's good looking. 6 points of fellowship. So I put my hand through the veil and I put my thumb on her thumb, or on her knuckle. Not nipple, knuckle. And I'll say, what is that? Now, she doesn't know shit. She can't remember any of this stuff. So the knocker lady will tell her what to say. So she'll say, I'll say, what is that? The first token of the Aaronic priesthood. Has it a name? It has. Will you give it to me? Margaret. Ooh, then I let go. You have to let go like that. Then you take her here by the hand and you put it between her. And what is that? Well, you don't say and. What is that? The second token of the Aaronic priesthood. Has it a name? It has. Will you give it to me? Mokey the Mokey, Spanky the Hanky, Bookie the Maka Hima. Now I do Oh, I'll say that is correct on each one. And then I give her the old pincher. I'd like to pinch her, but I pinch her on the arm, or on the finger, or on the hand. What is that? The first token of the Melchizedek priesthood has it a name? It has. Will you give it to me? The Son. So now I give her the old patriarchal grip. That's where you you go between their legs and see where their fingers are anyway. You see, what is that? The patriarchal grip, or sure sign of the nail. Has it a name? It has. Will you give it to me? I cannot. For this purpose, I've come to converse with the Lord at the veil. And now I get to get in her ear. Because I kind of whisper it so she can't hear very good. So I'll say, this is the name of the second token. Health in the navel, marrow in the bones, strength in the loins and the sinews, power in the priesthood be upon me and upon my posterity through all generations of time and throughout all eternity. What is that? The second token of the Melchizedek priesthood, the patriarchal grip, or sure sign of the nail. Has it a name? It has. Will you give it to me? Now she tries to repeat that back. Not one Mormon knows it except us that have worked at the temple. And then that is correct. Now, I get to peek again. This is funny shit. So now the old lady goes, and I'm still behind the veil. I go, what is wanted? And the old lady will say, Eve, having conversed with the Lord, now desires to enter her presence. So I pull the sheet over like this, and she climbs through. You Mormons can say I'm fat, I'm ugly. It's all true. It's all true. And when some of you have said, let me turn the camera back, I'm sure it's going to fall off, and then I'm going to be upset. Oh, there you go. I look silly. I look silly. Please, Mormons, write in and say to all of these people, Pei, Lei, El, the true order of prayer. Pei, Lei, El 3 times, which, oh God, hear the words of my mouth, has been changed now into English. It was in Adamic language. The Mormon Church says that was the language originally that Adam spoke. Pei, Lei, El. Make this shit up as they go. Now, in the true order of prayer, just before you go into the veil, they'll say, everyone get in a circle, and 12 or 13 people will go up in a circle, and it's male, female, male, female. So, take your partner to your left by the patriarchal grip, or sure sign of the nail. So you take, usually it's your wife or your companion or what. Sometimes it's an old lady in a bag or what. So you take them and put your left hand on their shoulder. Well, they could be very short. Now, does this look silly? It does. And he said, now we are going to pray for the people that still have nuts. They're sick. And we have a folder here of their names. And I'm going to put it down here on the altar. And these are the people that we're praying for. Okay, and so he raises his hand, the pretend God again. Everyone gets to be a god, so that's why Mormons like their religion. It's kind of fun to be a god and tell people what to do. And he'll say, oh, Heavenly Father, isn't it great that we are all able to come to the temple today? Now, you got to repeat what he says. Oh, God, it's great that we all came to the temple today. He says, would you bless all these people on this list here that they'll get better and be better Mormons? Please bless all these people. And so you repeat that. That's not funny. That pagan religious ritual, mostly from the Masons, when you dress up like that, the Masons have a goat. I don't know what the Mormons have. Maybe a pig with lipstick. I don't know. It's very similar, almost identical. Woo. Ritual. So please, Mormons, write in. Tell me how silly I look. Tell me, you know, my shirts don't fit, or that I have breakfast. I put a new shirt on today, and tell me why I'm doing so well being a non-member now out of the church. I don't pay tithing. I bought a brand new $30,000+ car yesterday, 2 days ago. I love it. I paid for it with my tithing. I'm immigrating my in-laws from the Philippines here. We got approval from the U.S. government that they get an interview now in Manila, and they'll be flying over here in the next 3-4 weeks. How do I have the money for that? I'm sending Mercy one way to meet her parents, and 3 of them all the way back. Magic money? No garments. $4,000 computer keeping me alive with insulin. I feel good. I'm not in any pain. Generally, I like life. Generally. I am happier now out of the Mormon church than I have ever been in my life. 2 beautiful children still in the home here. My little Abigail, goddamn, that little girl has gone to work 6 days a week for almost a year. And she's a 10th grader. Never missed a day. Never made a mistake. A 10th grader. She's got a brand new Dodge Dart. The fast one. The fast one. She makes every payment herself. She pays for all of her own gas. She pays for her XM radio. She pays for her insurance. She wasn't raised in the Mormon church. She was raised to work, take care of herself, and to be an honest person. B+ student. My little baby, God, she's no baby anymore. Allison told me the other day, she says, Dad, I'm living large. I said, oh, really? What's living large? And she says, well, I've got a cell phone, an iPhone, and boobs. All right. That's not a subject status you're going to get. Say, let me see your cell phone. Then, no, I'm just teasing. So anyway, I've never been happier. I'm healthy as an ox. Yeah, I've had quad bypass. I don't have any pain from it. I feel good. I'm going to work tonight. I'm going to make a little money for the family. I'm not going to tithe a goddamn penny of it. Not one. I'm not giving Monson, he's more senile than I am, 1 dime. 1 dime. They gave 1% of the billions that they took in the last 10 years to humanitarian services. If you Mormons don't think that's funny, where your money is going, go ahead. Make fun of my shirt, make fun of my eyebrows, my beard, and my bald head, whatever you want to make fun of. I've never had a better life. I had to grow to it. Quitting the Mormon church. I resigned. They're all going to say I was offended. You know the Bard. Nothing offends the Bard. Nothing. Say what you want, do what you want. I don't erase comments. The only comments that I've ever erased out of 3 years, and I don't know if it's 50,000 comments, oh, I'm sorry. I've erased 2 or 3 from my brother Randy because he always puts his websites up and tries to make money off of my people. I don't let anybody do that. I've taken 1 or 2 other comments off that have published their own websites, trying to get my people to go to their website. So I try to protect my program. There's no money here. I've never made a dime, nor will I. I've had people offer and offer and offer. Nope. Never made a dime, never will. Truth does not cost money. Truth does not cost money. And when you pollute philosophical, political, and religious ideas with money, you're not going to get truth anywhere. I have no axe to grind. The Mormon church can't do a thing to me. They can send an assassin out and assassinate me. So what? My wife gets millions of dollars. How's that hurt the family? I'm probably a young Filipino man. Can't touch my income. Can't touch my family. They're helpless. They're not used to being helpless. They're used to destroying people's lives. They haven't mine. I'm happy out of the Mormon church. I'm happy that I live by my own rules, speak my own language, speak my own mind, live my own life, kind to who I want to be, unfriendly to the liars, the cheaters, and the thieves. Whether they wear a suit and tie or not, the Bard don't give a rat's ass. Not a rat's ass. A mouse's ass, I give. I've lied a mouse in the house. Mouse in the house. That rhymes. Anyway, if you think I look silly, look at that damn video. and tell me if the Mormons don't look more silly than I do. Now maybe, maybe I'm prejudiced, and maybe you'll say, no, you look worse than a Mormon going through an endowment session. So anyway, I'm not going to go through the health in the navel. I already told you that. Marrow in the bones. I already told you that. It's my greeting now when anybody says to me, hey, how you doing? Health in the navel, marrow in the bones, strength in the loins, mercy, and the rest of the Mormons just go bullshit. That's a sacred thing. I said, no, it tells about how healthy I am. So anyway, do something good for somebody else. It makes all of us a better person. And thank you so much for some of you that tune in. I'm coming up on 1.2 million hits. I never thought anyone would look at me because my family said I was mentally ill, I was stupid, I wasn't funny, I was ugly. And now my family's kind of eating shit, isn't it? My Mormon family is eating shit. Somebody likes to look at me. I like to look at myself. Anyway, be kind. Be yourself. You don't need Jesus. You don't need Buddha. You don't need Muhammad. You don't need a goat. It's kind of nice to have a goat. I don't know. How do you... They eat everything. You live the best life that you can live, being as kind and as gentle and as loving as you can to every creature on this planet. And I mean trees, I mean bugs, snakes. I'll walk around a bug unless he's in my house. Hornets, I walk around, but I'll shoot them if they're on my patio. You be the best human and make this world a better place. And you know what? If that ain't good enough for your Jesus, your Mohammeds, and Allah, and Buddha, and the rest of them that man makes up, the golden calf, who knows? If that's not good enough for them, so what? You couldn't have done better. You did your very best. If that ain't good enough for them, fuck them. I want to be with people like me. I don't want to go to the celestial kingdom and be like the Mormons. I already live with kangaroos down here. I don't want to live with monkeys for eternity. I'm living in a zoo. Be your best. You don't need a religion. You have a personal morality, spirituality, philosophy, and you don't need to go on knock on anybody's door. Don't knock on and call their religion an abomination or tease them that they have no eyebrows. You don't need to do that. You want to go to a magic heaven? Be the best person you can be. Maybe we'll all get there. If we don't, so what? I'll see you in outer darkness. We'll have a party. Bring candles. Bard's gone.